Hey guys, thanks for checking out Quick Sessions Podcast. I am Garrett Terrio coming to you from Houston, Texas, inside Timberline Fitness Studio. And today we're going to be talking about ankle mobility. Now, this is not the article you read in Men's Health. This is not a YouTube video. I'm not going to be saying the things that those people are saying, promising all these ankle mobility solutions, explaining what ankle mobility is going to do for you. And here's the reason I'm on the subject. It's something, and I do this with a lot of podcasts. If I hear it 2 or 3 times in a week from different people, it kind of catches my attention and I wonder, like, what's up? Why is everybody all of a sudden obsessed with ankle mobility? And they're all different types of people. There was one guy who thought it was affecting his squat. Another person thought it was affecting, their foot strength in general. Another person thinks it's what's hurting their Achilles. And there was a fourth person, it just came up organically. It could have just been they might have had no ailment. But anyway, when something comes out that much, I always wonder. So I checked it out and I saw what the most viewed and read articles were saying. And I'm reading all this and decided that I thought the opposite of the sentiment that a lot of them were putting out there. So here's what it is. Let me break down what ankle immobility is. It's 2 things. It's tightness on the back of your leg or tightness on the front of your leg. That's it. It's those 2 things. It's nothing more complicated than that. It's not your bone structure. Sure, there's genetically, some people will have more mobility in general, but it's almost impossible to figure out because who works out as much as the next person or runs as much as the next person or does any number of things, who has had injuries on that ankle. In general, our skeletal muscle is about the same as far as ankle mobility goes, ignoring outside factors. So that's one thing to know. It's not like a muscle where someone's just born with an extremely mobile ankle compared to the next person. You can be born with a bigger predisposition for the bigger arms or something like that, but ankle mobility is something that is just practiced and achieved, and sure, you can lose it, but it's not like it's something that's very hard to even get back. If you read a lot of the stuff, they're talking about routines, different stretches, and what I call all these type of things they're throwing at you are just distractions to keep you away from actually starting your workout. I have a few clients where, mentally maybe it helps, and there's nothing wrong with stretching. But as far as using it to actually improve a certain lift, I know that's where the heart's at, but on this, I'm telling you, it isn't nearly as big of a deal as they're making it. So back to ankle immobility. What it is, it's tight in the front of your leg, tight in the back of your leg. The back of your leg, you all know, it's your calf muscles, soleus and your gastrocnemius. Stretching your calves is not rocket science. You just go do it. Do some calf raises and then let your heels sag down. You stretch your calf. If that's what's holding up your ankle mobility, you are immediately going to see results. All right, you don't need a 6-week program. You don't need 10 minutes dedicated to it. If you were to test your ankle mobility in the back of your calf, your Achilles is what's holding you up, you can foam roll it too if that's what you want to do, but then you stretch it and you're immediately going to see results. You're immediately going to see an improvement in your ankle mobility, which tells me it's not a real factor. It's warming up. The lack of warming up, you're not as flexible in your ankle. That's true for everything. That's true on the bench press, squat, power clean, curl, tricep push down, crunches to an extent, cardio. Everything about being physical is better and moves more fluid whenever you have a proper warm-up. Same thing with things that stress your ankles. A somewhat proper warm-up will get the job done, and you don't need a big warm-up. You don't need sprinter stretch, duck walks, rice squat. You don't need all that stuff. You need to engage the calf. You need to get it to loosen up, wake it up. Very simple. Second part, front of your leg. The tibialis anterior is what it's called. It's that front thing on the side of your shin, on the right side to be specific. There might be a little bit on the left, but for the most part, I believe it's on your right side of your right leg, left side of your left. And you'll know this is tight whenever you try to lean forward, lean your knee over your toe, and it feels like the back's fine, but the front, there's a little rock stopping you from leaning forward. And that's just as easy as of a fix. I mean, get on top of a lacrosse ball or a foam roller and just have a little hand roller and just roll it out. Get it warmed up. Calf raises will help that too. You can use a dart if your gym has one, which we do. A lot of gyms don't. Put a kettlebell on your toe and just lift it. Do a reverse calf raise, and then you're going to be good to go. These, I just watched a 15-minute video of an ankle warm-up. Man, get out of here with that crap. It's this, and there's a ton of it going on because there's all these fitness professionals that are looking to put out content, just like I am, but I'm not going to sit here and spit BS of, here's this great 15-minute. No, if you can squat well, you're always going to squat well. Your ankle mobility is not going to hinder you, and that's what a lot of people fear. They think their squat isn't as good because of their ankle mobility. Man, that's on the bottom of the top 10 list as far as why your squat isn't performing as well as you want, or why your lunge isn't working as well as you think it should. And it's just a bunch of filler, man. It really is just driving me nuts because there's so much content on it. And, maybe it's just easy content. And these guys, it's an afterthought. They just know how to do it and they go for it. And yeah, having great ankle mobility, I bet it's great. I bet it's fine, but I bet it's not anything you're going to notice outside of the 5 minutes after you do it. If you truly feel like your ankles are stopping you, you can solve that in 2 minutes before your squat. Calf raises and reverse calf raises. It's really that simple, and you'll get back under and you'll already be more flexible. The big thing going around is putting your foot 6 inches from the wall and leaning and having your knees touch the wall without your heel coming up. To say that if you can't do it, you have bad ankle mobility is such bullshit. Most people cannot do that correctly. No one with any kind of an arch on their foot. If you have flat feet and your ankle collapses, yeah, you can do it no problem. But even if you're able to do that amount of ankle mobility, it doesn't really benefit you in anything you do, right? Like that much ankle flex. When are you ever going to need that much ankle flexibility? If you do, it means you're squatting wrong. You're leaning onto your knees are going so far forward, you're taking your hips out of it. If you want to actually get better at squatting, quit blaming your ankles and push your butt back, get your hips back and create torque so that your leg muscles can push it up, because that's the point of a squat, right? Is to work your leg muscles. And outside of performing a squat, I would love to hear why you need more ankle mobility. Because to do that ankle mobility test, the 6-inch test, that's so excessive. And if you do a ton of yoga, great. I mean, congratulations. How is it improving your life? Let me know. I would love to. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to know what it is that all this extra ankle mobility is doing for you. And again, to me, it just sounds like you go to the gym and there's 20 minutes of your routine. Then you work out for 40 minutes. You say, I did an hour. Like, no, you did 40 minutes. Spending time on something as inconsequential as ankle mobility is just silly. If you want to work on that, there's only so much to really do. Do some calf raises in between sets, and you're going to have all the ankle mobility you will need to do a proper squat, proper lunge, proper step up, whatever it is. And truth is, most of the time, if you do have a lack of mobility, it's probably just because you run a ton and don't stretch. But like I said, it's something you can get back so quickly. It's fine. No one's getting like an arthritic. Well, if you have arthritis, I guess it's possible. But it's not like people are just like their ankles are solidifying and they have to get to this test someone made up to have proper ankle mobility to feel good about their body, right? Having that much ankle mobility doesn't really do much for you. I guess it makes you better at yoga. Maybe that's the whole point. But even then, I would say the hamstring flexibility would be more important. If you're going for a down dog or something, maybe it helps to have more flexible ankles, but I don't know. We'd have to ask a yoga expert. But anyway, guys, that's kind of my thought on the whole deal. Like I said, I kept hearing all this ankle mobility talk, almost like a fad, and it's died down, but even someone yesterday brought it up, which kind of was driving me nuts. And like I said, I think it's just a time waster. Sure, it's good to dedicate a minute or two, but anything you read, it's 3 or 4 exercises for this and that. And then what are you even going to do with that? It's not going to make your squat weight go up. It's not even going to make your squats feel more comfortable. You can feel better about it. And if you have serious problems, yeah, stretch them out for a minute or two. And then, what really gets those ankles working? Squatting. Get in there and just do it. No one's ankle mobility is so bad to where their squat form is going to be drastically messed up. If they try to blame it on it, they're probably just going too heavy and not doing a proper squat. Or there's countless number of other things that's messing with them, right? They're not getting their hips back. They're not poking their chest out, ripping the bar apart, getting their feet properly set. There's so many other things. So to blame ankle mobility just seems like such a cop-out. And then to say it's causing pain in their Achilles or calf or whatever, it's like, no, man, you got tight calf muscles, tight hamstring, something like that. It's not that your ankle decided to magically immobilize. So anyway, a little bit of a rant, but I was able to fill a few minutes without reading anything else. So that was from the heart. Hope I made some sense to you. My advice, don't waste too much time on ankle mobility, even though it's in every magazine right now and all over YouTube and fitness blogs, yada, yada. Probably Instagram too. We'll see. Thanks for checking it out, guys. If you can, rate, review, subscribe to the podcast, Spotify, Apple Pod Center, Google Play, everywhere you get podcasts. Check out the Instagram page, quicksessionspodcast.com, and also GarrettTerrioHealth.com for more training-oriented material. And get under there and squat, guys. Check you later. Bye.